My husband has been messing around with his stepmother and stepsister. For a little while, I suspected my husband of cheating. I didn't have any justification for thinking or feeling this way, but I couldn't stop having this gut feeling that something was wrong. So, I decided to keep a closer eye on him, and I still found nothing. And for a long time, I was angry with myself for suspecting him and for invading his privacy. We went to marriage counseling, and I apologized for breaking his trust in me, and for a little while, all was well. But that wretched feeling never went away. I tried so hard to get over this feeling that he was deceiving me in some way, and I just couldn't. So, I decided it was time to hire a private investigator instead of playing Inspector Gadget myself. Let me tell you, this was the best thing I ever spent my money on. Within a month, the PI was able to confirm my suspicions, but it was a shock to find out that it was his stepsister and his stepmother. Not only that, he may be the father of his stepsister's newborn baby. I could have killed him, but I kept my composure, and I kept this information to myself and continued to act as normal as possible. Believe me, that was a very difficult thing to do. I slowly started detaching from him and even moved into our spare bedroom, and we continued to drift apart. I moved out, got a new job, and started saving money for our divorce. I got my life in order. Now here we are, almost a year later, and in the final stages of our divorce, and I've still not told anyone. I spent the last year preparing for our divorce because I'll be damned to leave this marriage empty-handed. I wanted to handle our financial affairs first because my husband works for his father, and I didn't want to leave him unemployed during our divorce process. The son of a cunt dragged me out our divorce and fought me for everything, even things that were mine to begin with, but I kept my calm, and I won't say a word until I get everything I deserve. That's when I'll tell his father, and his father is not a man to be messed with. I've been assured the check will clear in 3 days or less, and it's over for Robert, because as soon as that money hits my account, his mother, stepmother, stepsister, brother-in-law, and father will receive a beautifully written email with pictures and videos of what he has been up to. His dad will tear him apart.
Am I the asshole for showing up at my ex's wedding in a pretty dress? My ex and I had a peaceful divorce. We co-parent with our 3 children together, and there hasn't been any issues. My ex is getting married to Stephanie. I like Stephanie. She's been great with my kids and makes my ex happy. My ex invited me to their wedding, and I was happy for him. His reasoning was that it was my day with the kids, so that it made sense for me to come. When I arrived at the wedding, Stephanie thanked me for dropping the kids off and brushed me off. We never had any issues before. I explained that I was going to stay for the reception, and she was very upset. I was confused because I assumed she knew I would be in attendance. It turned out that she didn't consider that I would actually accept the invitation. I told her that I was invited, and since I took a 2-hour drive, I would be staying for the entire duration. She didn't like this response. Stephanie asked me to leave, and I stood my ground. She went on to complain about my dress upstaging hers. My ex and former mother-in-law helped to calm her down, and the wedding shortly began. I thought that was the end of it, but later in private, Stephanie accused me of trying to ruin her special day. She's convinced that I wanted to show off and make the wedding about my divorce. She said it was rude of me not to leave after the bride requested it because it was her special day. I told her that I'm not responsible for her insecurities, and once again reminded her that I have no interest in stealing my ex back. So am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole if I tell my friend her boyfriend is planning to propose? My 27 female best friend has been dating her boyfriend, 26 male, for over 5 years. A while back, he reached out to me to help figure out ring size and the setup so he could make this the most magical day for her. Having known my friend for over 20 plus years, I know exactly how she wants her proposal to go and who she wants to be there. So I relayed all of this information to him months ago via text and over the phone. I even took the time to covertly find and confirm which ring she would love the most. A little background. My friend is incredibly family and friend oriented, and in the past expressed to me on multiple occasions, especially during holiday season, that in the 5 years they've been together, he hasn't really made much of an effort to indoctrinate himself into her family or friendships the way she has for his. While I do generally like him, I've always felt that he is incredibly self-serving and self-focused. Recently, through a mutual friend, I found out he started a group text between his, emphasis on his, friends and his family to set up a time and date of the proposal. He has not only excluded myself, and according to the screenshots I've seen, he is doing everything verbatim I suggested he do, but he has completely excluded her family and other close friends from the event. He is planning on only having his boys and family present for the occasion. And knowing my friend, this would ultimately break her heart, not being able to share this moment with her loved ones. I got heated and called him. At first, he was dodging my questions, then just outright said, quote, "This is my proposal, and I've spent enough time and money to choose how I do it. Just be happy for your friend. It's not like you're not coming to the wedding. This infuriated me. And to make matters worse, I ran into her mom and dad at the grocery store and subtly asked if they knew of any possibility she was getting engaged. They were unaware, and I know for a fact my friend has told him that he needs to ask her parents for their blessing. She's somewhat traditional. My friend wears her heart on her sleeve, and I can predict how this event will go down when she sees all of his close friends and family there and none of hers. Considering her previous sentiments about his lack of interest in her family/life, she will 100% see this as being hurtful and selfish, and I know she'll cry. To make matters worse, the location of the proposal is a whopping 30 minutes from her parents' house. I don't want to get involved in a fight or reveal the surprise, but on the other hand, I feel like I owe it to my lifelong friend to help her avoid being hurt and disappointed. Maybe even helping her rethink what her future would look like with someone who just doesn't really appreciate what she values in life. So, am I the asshole if I tell my friend her boyfriend is going to propose? So, update. To everyone who told me to keep my mouth shut, thank you. So on Saturday, the day of the proposal, I got a call from her boyfriend. He was screaming at me, blaming me for not showing up, uninvited still, to the proposal with her parents because she was upset they weren't there.
What?
I was fucking slack-jawed. I told him I knew this would happen, and he says, verbatim, quote, "You just admitted you knew this would happen. So if you knew the whole time and you actually cared for her, you would have invited them." I was gobsmacked and hung up on him. Not even an hour later, I get a call from her asking me to come to her parents. According to her, this is how the situation played out. He popped the question, she said yes, and the people he invited popped out from hiding. She was bombarded by 4 of his guy friends, his mom, dad, older brother, and his sister-in-law. His parents were holding a sign that said, quote, "Welcome to the family, Mrs. Insert his last name here, and this is where things go downhill." I did not know this before, and I thought I knew everything, but my friend doesn't want to change her last name. And she's told him that repeatedly since they'd gotten together. She's an only child from a Ukrainian family.
Oh, I love that.
And with everything going on with Ukraine in the last year, she's doubled down.
Yeah.
I literally just got full body chills.
Yeah, me too.
When she saw the sign, she joked, "Mrs. his last name? I think you mean Mrs. her last name."
Mm-hmm.
Everyone went silent until his mom said, quote, "Well, the ring is already engraved.
What?
No changing it now." She takes the ring off and sees Mrs. his last name engraved on the band. Then she asked if her parents were coming. He gave every excuse. He didn't have their number. There were too many people there. He wanted to keep it private and eventually said, quote, "This was my proposal to you. And now my family is your family. We can just send your parents the pictures later." She took the ring off and left.
Good.
That's when I'm assuming I got the call from him. She went straight to her parents. She asked them about the engagement. They were clueless. She then asked if I knew anything. I asked if she was in the right place. She said she was, so I told her I would answer any questions she had rather than dumping everything on her. She was upset but thanked me. She was furious when I told her about the call with him earlier and said, "Does he really think I'm that shallow?" She said it wasn't about having a perfect proposal for her or her parents there. It was about him making the whole thing about himself, as always, and she was done feeling ignored and belittled. So this was her breaking point. She's staying with her parents currently and has been receiving texts from him. The worst one so far is him telling her she has to pay him back for the ring and for ruining his life.
No.
Right now, all I can do is be here for her and whatever decision she makes. I will fully support because, as you've all helped me realize, this isn't about me. It's about her. Not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah.
Edit. She gave him the ring back when she took it off. I didn't include that because I was at the 3,000 character limit already. Edit 2. Update. I did not mention this plan when I originally posted, just in case her ex found this thread, but I can report now that we got a heads up last night that he wasn't at their apartment. So we ran over and got most of her shit out. At least all of the really important stuff. To those asking, no, she isn't going back to him. It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Woo. I love a happy ending.